Today's top stories. Ahmed Gulbadi, Iranian film director and financier of imprisoned Iranian-American journalist Roxana Saberi, has asked presidential candidate and National Trust Party chairman Mehdi Karabi to follow up on his partner's case. The party's website reported today. Saberi, 32, is said to be on a hunger strike in Tehrans Evin Prison, and protested the 8-year jail sentence handed down to her earlier this month. U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton on Thursday said Iran was sending mixed messages over Saberi's fate. Clinton said, quote, "They are going to let her out. They are going to let her out in 2 months. They are going to sentence her to 8 years. They are going to do an appeal. I think it shows you how difficult it is to deal with this government in Iran." According to Amnesty International, Iran today executed juvenile offender Delara Darabi in a prison in the northern city of Rasht. Amnesty notes that this second execution of a juvenile offender in Iran this year took place despite the fact that the head of Iran's Judiciary gave Darabi a 2-month stay of execution on April 19th. Her execution brings to at least 140 the number of executions in Iran this year. Yesterday, the Defense Human Rights Center in Iran published its report on the situation of human rights in Iran for the 3 winter months of 2008 to 2009. Some of the cases noted in that lengthy report include at least 26 persons being sentenced to death and 3 to death by stoning, while the sentence of lashing was carried out against 2 women's activists. At least 48 students were arrested and 25 received court sentences. The report also notes the death of 2 political prisoners because of the lack of proper medical care and the arrest of 9 new cases of political and social activists, while the judiciary passed sentences against 14 others. Ayatollah Sayyid al-Khatami, a member of the Assembly of Experts, who led the Friday prayers in Tehran today, referred in his second sermon to the 100 days that have passed since Barack Obama became president, and said that Obama's slogan of change had not been fulfilled, either on the home front or abroad, and that the Islamic Republic had thrown into the dustbin of history all the options over Iran adopted by former President George W. Bush's administration. Far's news agency quotes Khatami as saying, quote, "Obama has kept all the options which Bush had placed on the table concerning Iran, but the Iranian nation has pushed these options under the table and thrown them into the dustbin of history." Khatami dismissed as hollow drums the threat of tighter sanctions which U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, whom he called the newly appointed and inexperienced, has talked about, and said that U.S. is not seeking to negotiate with Iran. With reference to the words of Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, the leader in Iran's 1979 revolution, he continued to say, quote, "If Americans turn into humans, we will talk to them. But your words show that you have not yet become humans, and the nation of Iran also is still the same as 30 years ago and shouts the slogan of death to America with all its might." These stories and more at televisionwashington.com.